Have you ever wondered why humans hit puberty pretty early? Girls usually start the first menstrual cycle around 12 to 13 years old, but a girl at that age is not physically strong enough to carry a baby for 9 months, therefore the chances of a miscarriage are high. So why does evolution allow us to get pregnant when our body isn't ready yet? Turns out scientists and researchers have an explanation for this. Puberty is like the grand opening of a theme park that's been under construction for years. Your body. It's when kids transform into adults, and it's not just about growing taller or getting pimples. It turns out puberty is less about how many candles are on your birthday cake and more about your body weight and composition. Research about body weight and the initiation of puberty shows that if a girl's body fat hits about 17% of her total weight, it's like a starting signal for puberty. That's right, reaching this body fat level can kick off a human's very first menstrual cycle. It's like your body has a natural alarm clock. So a visible link exists between how much you weigh and when puberty begins. And that means we humans used to start puberty on time in the past, but our modern lifestyle has made us start earlier. Now this leads us to an intriguing question. Why do humans today start puberty so early? Research revealed that today's humans, especially Generation Z or Gen Z, are entering puberty earlier than previous generations. Dr. Payal Kohli, a medical expert, calls this trend a great natural experiment, the result of which might not be fully understood for years. So what's causing this shift? Dr. Kohli points out several factors. First, there's stress. With mental health issues on the rise among kids, increased cortisol levels might be triggering these early changes. But one of the biggest reasons might be obesity. Kids are getting heavier, just like adults, and that increase in weight can lead to earlier puberty. What's more, the pandemic has made things even faster, and it's not just in heavier kids. Even skinny kids are starting puberty sooner. And here's something interesting. Our bodies haven't caught up with how fast our world is changing. It's like evolution is lagging. Our bodies are still playing by the old rules from our past, but our environment and lifestyles have changed a lot. This mismatch might be one reason why we're seeing such big changes when kids start puberty. Our ancestors, the hunter-gatherers, experienced puberty much later than modern humans. Why? Their diet was the key. Their secret is a simple diet with fewer calories. They ate proteins, fruits, veggies, and nuts, but not much sugar or carbs. This meant slower growth and later puberty. Fast forward to today, and our diets contain processed foods and sugars. This change leads to kids hitting puberty sooner. Our ancestors didn't eat as many calories in a day as we do now. Unlike us, they didn't have access to abundant food resources. So in ancient times, people couldn't fulfill their appetite with a $10 McDonald's meal. They had to share food to survive. Nowadays, the increased intake of these calorie-dense, nutrient-poor foods has been linked to earlier onset of menstruation and faster physical development. That clears our confusion about why humans are getting their puberty so early. But now the next important question is, if the more we eat, the more we grow, does that mean we age faster? Is it true that what we eat can affect how long we live? Well, studies surely suggest that calorie restriction without malnutrition can lead to a longer lifespan. It means that if you eat a restricted but healthy diet, you might have a chance to have a longer lifespan than an average human. This form of diet mimics, to some extent, the lower calorie intake of our ancestors, but in a modern context. You should check out the ancient Japanese or Italian diets to understand how healthy whole foods were so good for humans and how today's processed foods are destroying our life cycles. There's another theory that has some context about the difference between the diet of our ancestors and ours. According to The Dawn of Everything by David Graeber and David Wengrow, human groups who relied on hunting and gathering rather than agriculture experienced puberty later. In theory, it's believed that a dietary shift may have given our agricultural communities an edge over hunter-gatherers. For humans today, the implications of diet on health and development are big. A diet high in processed foods and sugars not only triggers earlier puberty, but can also lead to health issues like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular problems, which are also common these days. These health issues at a young age can set the stage for chronic diseases later in life. There's another theory behind this concept, the disposable soma theory of aging. This theory suggests that our bodies are like a disposable soma. If we live fast, burning through our resources, we age faster. But if we live slower, conserving our energy, we can potentially extend our lifespan. It's all about how we use our biological resources. It's like each of us has a biological budget. If we spend it fast, our body, the soma, wears out quicker. So we can conclude that the current diet and lifestyle are also to blame for early body maturity, which ultimately results in a lower lifespan. Now, what can we do to reverse this trend? There's an interesting factor that might help us here. How many of you are familiar with the concept of intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting isn't just a trend, but it's rooted in biology. Periodic fasting can lead to increased longevity and reduced disease risk. It's like giving your body a break to repair and rejuvenate, and it's been around for centuries. Our ancestors had to fast when food was scarce. Today, we're rediscovering this ancient habit, but with a twist. It's not just about coping with food scarcity anymore. It's about giving our bodies a time out to repair and rejuvenate. By cycling between periods of eating and fasting, we're not just getting tiny waistlines, but also boosting our overall health. And the best part, you don't have to give up your favorite foods. It sums up that there are real scientific reasons behind humans hitting puberty faster than other creatures. The main point of all this conversation is that we need to be mindful of our life choices to stay healthy. Early puberty is not the issue here. The main issue is the side effects that teenagers are facing from all this fast food and social media stress. Considering all we've discussed today, what do you think plays a bigger role in our development and aging? Our diet or our environment? Drop a diet or environment in the comments and let's discuss.